Welcome to the Ontario Mortgage and Real Estate Insights podcast, your go-to source for the latest developments, trends, and regulatory changes in the industry. I'm your host, Steve Hamoan, here to provide you with insights sourced from reputable news outlets to help you stay informed and make well-informed decisions. This podcast is brought to you by Real Approved Inc., a trusted mortgage brokerage dedicated to helping Canadians achieve their homeownership dreams. Visit realapproved.ca to learn more about how their experienced team can assist you with your mortgage needs. Let's dive into today's episode. Today, we're diving into a recent report from the Office of the Parliamentary Budget Officer regarding the Canadian housing market and how proposed immigration cuts might affect it. The federal government has announced plans to cut the number of permanent residents allowed into the country over the next 3 years. This move, they believe, will help address the ongoing housing shortage in Canada. However, the Parliamentary Budget Officer suggests that the government might be overly optimistic about the impact these cuts will have. According to the report, the Parliamentary Budget Officer projects that the housing gap could decrease by 45% by 2030 if the Liberal government's population projections hold true. This is based on their current immigration plan. However, the Parliamentary Budget Officer has expressed concerns about the reliability of these demographic projections, noting significant risks involved. Specifically, the report highlights that assumptions about non-permanent residents leaving the country when their permits or visas expire might not fully materialize, which could skew the expected outcomes. Interestingly, the Parliamentary Budget Officer's estimates suggest that Canada will need to build an additional 1.2 million homes by 2030 to close the housing gap. Their revised immigration plan is expected to reduce this gap by 534,000 units, which is 45% of the total needed. In contrast, the government's projections are more optimistic, suggesting a reduction of 670,000 units by 2027, which is both higher and 3 years sooner than the Parliamentary Budget Officer's timeline. The difference in these projections could stem from several factors. These include assumptions about the age, regional distribution, and household structure of the non-permanent residents projected to leave Canada. The Parliamentary Budget Officer emphasizes that both their reductions in household formation and the housing gap are upper bound estimates, indicating a level of uncertainty in these figures. In response, Immigration Minister Mark Miller's office has acknowledged the Parliamentary Budget Officer's report, stating that it confirms the government's immigration levels plan will indeed reduce the housing supply gap. The minister's office also highlighted the importance of immigration in contributing to the growth of the housing supply, emphasizing that immigrants should not be blamed for the housing crisis. Instead, they play a crucial role in supporting the housing sector and deserve to be given the opportunity to succeed in Canada. Now, let's turn our attention to the recent developments in the Greater Toronto Area's condominium market, as reported by the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board. In the third quarter of 2024, the condo market experienced some interesting shifts due to relatively high borrowing costs. These costs have continued to impact the market segment, leading to a decrease in sales on a year-over-year basis. However, at the same time, we've seen an increase in the number of listings available. This rise in available listings has provided more options for buyers, which naturally translates into more negotiating power, and consequently, a slightly lower average selling price for condos. According to Jennifer Pierce, the president of the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board, while condo sales remained low in the third quarter, there's an expectation that market conditions will improve. The anticipated positive impact of interest rate cuts suggests that more renters might consider transitioning into home ownership. In numbers, total condominium apartment sales amounted to 4,204 in the third quarter of 2024, which is a decrease of 4.4% compared to the same period in 2023. Meanwhile, 14,721 new condo listings were added to the multiple listing service system during this quarter, marking a 10.6% increase year over year. This increase in supply contributed to a 3.3% annual dip in the average condo price, bringing it down to $692,672. Focusing specifically on the City of Toronto, The average condominium apartment price fell from $737,035 in the third quarter of 2023 to $713,801 in the third quarter of 2024. Jason Mercer, the chief market analyst at the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board, anticipates that as market conditions improve, the large inventory of listings that has built up over the past year will begin to be absorbed. This absorption is expected to lead to tightening market conditions and renewed price growth as we move into 2025. These developments highlight the dynamic nature of the real estate market in the Greater Toronto Area. While we're seeing some short-term challenges, the long-term outlook suggests potential opportunities for both buyers and sellers. As always, keeping an eye on interest rates and market trends will be crucial for anyone looking to navigate this evolving landscape. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Ontario Mortgage and Real Estate Insights podcast. We hope you found today's insights valuable as you navigate the world of mortgages and real estate. Before you go, a quick reminder. Real Approved is here to make your mortgage journey smoother. Whether you're buying your first home or refinancing, their experienced team is ready to guide you with personalized support every step of the way. Visit realapproved.ca to get started and take the next step toward achieving your home ownership goals. Catch you next time and stay informed with the latest industry insights.